Welcome to Gemini season, guys. We are going to take a peek at your love life, see how your partner's feeling about you, any important actions you need to take for the month, and overall, I'm just going to cover a couple things as far as major major things going on in astrological, aspects. If you've got some big projects going on, especially if you're seeing this towards the end of anytime in May, before you get to the beginning of June, make sure if you've got some big projects that you're really working on, get things kind of in order and organized. They don't have to be perfect, but there is kind of a wrapping up energy happening that first week in June. So I would recommend, if you have any last minute things that you need to do, just to kind of work on that so that you can be in the best position for that, because apparently whatever it is you're working on has definitely been very important to you and has a pretty big reward for you. So I would definitely check those details. Speaking of checking details, towards the middle of the month, we've got some new things happening. So, I wouldn't make yourself super busy at that particular point where you're just kind of overwhelmed. I would just kind of make sure you're double checking those details and don't overdo it. Okay, you don't want to overdo yourself during that time. Make sure if you need some grounding, you're doing that. And then we've got some nostalgic stuff kind of happening. Deeper rooted conversations taking place around the 18th of the month. But those are times when I would recommend to stay very mature and realistic with those conversations. I wouldn't exaggerate. I wouldn't, sell yourself up in any kind of a way. I would just stay really practical and realistic in that. And then towards the end of the month, we've got a really good opportunity to just kind of take the lead on certain aspects that you've been, these bigger pieces that you've been working towards, bigger goals, things that you've been really trying to get going. There is going to be kind of an oomph in that direction with a major transit, basically. So when we have those major transits, we've got new opportunities coming. So keep that in mind. The major transit is Mars enters Aries. So that does make sense, just because Aries has a lot to do with those things that you've been pondering on and thinking about, putting all that energy into manifesting, and now we've kind of got some of those answers coming too by the end of the month. So if you've been waiting for some bigger answers, I would say some of them should be coming in by the end of the month. If you want to look at your personal situation, please do so. Remember, this is a general reading, guys, so take with this and leave the rest. All right, let's get into it. Hey, Taurus. All right, let's take a look and see how your relationship is looking currently. I'm going to dive a little deeper into some questions on how they're feeling about you and some action to take here. Hope you're having a good month. Things are going well for you. Let's see how. What do you need to release? Alright. And emotions are running high. Alright, so one of you is feeling like the other one needs to get something off their chest, or needs to just kind of put something out on the table, or needs to just take a break from something. Maybe one's working too hard and you're really needing them to just kind of do a getaway with you, and or maybe the other person hasn't realized this yet and you're still trying to break the ice on like what that even means, or maybe they're just so busy with a project, or they don't have many choices right now and it's creating some struggle or some conflict with with emotions, just because maybe there's not a whole lot you can do about any of it right now, and so you're just trying to have to work together and just get through it. And so in that aspect, I could see where that could be a little bit different, and maybe there's even one of you considering maybe we should make a shift here with the type of work you're doing, or with whatever this obstacle is, or even just discussing it, so that if it's something that might be long-term, like a job, everybody's at least getting their needs met. And sometimes you just have to communicate about what that looks like and how to best do that. So I do see, some communication kind of going on here. Some kind of getting back on the same page with one another. How are they feeling? What to expect? Fertility. Oh, I see. So it could be that some of you are thinking about kiddos and getting pregnant, or having children, or expanding, or maybe that's already happening and you're trying to figure out the best way to express this, or maybe you have and the reaction or response wasn't as, what maybe you had hoped for. But I feel like a lot of you are more worried about what that could look like. It could also just have to do with children in general, or family. And in that aspect, I feel like one of you needs to be really upfront and real about your feelings about all of it. Maybe someone's just kind of holding back because they don't want the conflict or the arguments, but that's something that needs to go. You need to release that. If anything needs to be released, it's that. It's the feeling like you can't put things out on the table. You really do just need to be kind of honest about the situation, or vice versa with the partner or person you're interested in. What to expect. Patience. So if there's just a fear here on communicating about whatever this is, this card is meant to give you some ease on that fear by saying you're going to get a patient response in return. This is what you can expect. Patience, support. I think something different than what you expect. So try not to let expectations kind of run the show here too much. And then I think trust from this also strengthens as well, because then now there becomes even a safer route when things do need to be discussed in those moments where maybe you just kind of hold back. There's a refined moment of trust so that the two of you can speak more clearly to one another without having that fear. And again, this could be vice versa, so don't take it too literally. Just take the interpretation as it resonates, okay? Now, where are things headed here? Strength and resilience. So if this can happen, okay, if you guys can build on trust and patience with the situation that's happening this month, you will definitely have a renewed sense of strength and resilience in this relationship, in the connection that you have. And I think it's going to surprise one of the other of you. Like maybe you just, I'm telling you, I think worry just kind of took over, and maybe you thought it was impossible, but it's going to be really cool to see how this manifests, because it makes some really cool connections with people, again, and learn from life, which is exactly that. It's kind of that aha moment, that realization, that ascension of what something means to you, or what something's meaning is, or whatever, okay? Again, however that resonates with you. But good things are taking place. Even though emotions are running high, I'm seeing actually a lot of positives coming from the position that you're in right now with your partner. How can you best communicate? Speak the language of love. Loving words have the power to change lives, including your own, which is right. So you can speak your truth. You can say what you need to say, but it's in the delivery is a lot of the times. And as, you know, a Taurus, earth signs like myself, we can be kind of blunt and kind of dry, and sometimes the feelings and the sensitivities of another person get kind of lost in the cracks there. So this is definitely one of those times where you don't want to do that. You want to be compassionate, you want to be patient, you want to build that trust, you want to have those things in your mind while you're communicating. And actions speak loudly. Express your love through actions. And, make that initiation if need be. Perhaps you're the person who's, trying to back off of the topic here, and your partner is really wanting to come in with this. Make sure you're speaking openly with this person, and be honest about how you're feeling. But, you might need to be the one that kind of expresses that maybe they've tried and they're emotional now, and you need to kind of make that step forward and make things happen, okay? And how to maintain the balance once you get there. How do we best maintain that? A new start is coming. So quite a reward. I mean, yes, we got to step over the ego. Yes, we have to do something that's a little uncomfortable sometimes when it comes to communicating and being vulnerable and speaking truth and all of that. But really, really beautiful new beginnings happen from that. And that's kind of where, that is where you're headed right now. Be bold and make the first move. Yeah, so I think that message is for mostly the Tauruses, saying that this is that message for you to do that, just to initiate and make things better, because I think the ball's in your court right now, and you can make the other person feel much better, which in tune makes everything much better. So it's a win-win. Everyone's had all these win-win situations. That's kind of cool. I've been saying that a lot in the readings today, so good things happening for June. I love it. If you guys want to look at your personal situation, all the information on how to book your readings down below, feel free. I hope you have a great month. Much love to you guys.